What is up guys, Suspense here and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we'll be covering everything you need to know about selling shoes on eBay. Hopefully, if I can do this video will be segmented into different parts, so hopefully in the timeline down below you can skip along if you already know how to do certain things, because I will be going step by step from start to finish. All right, before we hop into it, I'm gonna list all of the things that you will need, things that I suggest you have, and things that are nice but you don't necessarily need. So the first thing you're gonna need that I can't show on this table is a printer. You have to print your shipping labels. It doesn't have to be the special one with the sticky paper that you slap on, but you do need a printer. Essential item number 2, you're gonna need a box big enough to fit your shoes. In this video, I'll actually be reusing an eBay box that I got from a previous purchase. Though when I don't reuse boxes, I use the Uline 16 by 12 by 6 boxes. Link in the description below. I believe they're like $1 each. You can buy them in a pack of 25. But this is the box I'm using for today's video. Next essential item is going to be packing tape. 100% need this. Can't get around securing the box. And our first suggested item is going to be a tape gun. It makes shipping things so much easier. I shipped for a while without one. It has changed shipping for me. It's so much easier with a tape gun. So I highly suggest getting one. I believe I bought this off of Amazon with the tape. If I can find the link, that'll be in the description below as well. And my next suggested item is this shipping label pouch that you can peel the back of, stick on your box, and just put the shipping label inside if you don't have one of those special printers. Now, the reason why I'm just suggesting this is because you can just go over the shipping label on the box with a bunch of tape and it'll kind of do the same thing, but I like the convenience of these and it feels more secure if I put this down and then just add a little tape to the side of it or something like that. So that's why I suggest this. Not a necessity, however, and these will be linked in the description as well. Though the one thing with this is you'll need to cut around the label, so it'll take an extra 30 seconds. And my final suggested item is going to be bubble wrap and or packing paper. Now, I very highly recommend using bubble wrap. It's not necessarily required. Nike doesn't ship to me using bubble wrap. Sometimes eBay doesn't even do it. StockX sometimes does. And if they put it on the top of the box, half the time it caves in the top of the box. Worst case scenario, if you ship shoes and they get damaged in shipping, you're getting them back if they get declined by eBay for having a damaged box. So you're basically just protecting yourself here. Maybe you could get away with shipping shoes to eBay with no bubble wrap, but you're only risking it for yourself basically. Because if you get the shoes back and the box is damaged, now you have to resell them with a damaged box because you didn't use bubble wrap. The packing paper is simply if you have a shoe box that is too small for the actual box itself, it's good to hold down the box inside so it doesn't move around as much. I just recently started using this and this is honestly just extra that I have from a Tradeblock trade, so not always required. I don't always use this, but it is nice. And my one quality of life item that you don't necessarily need is a scale. Now, the scale is fine to get the exact weight of your shoes, but it's really not required. And once you've shipped 10 pairs of shoes, maybe you'll come to find that 99% of the shoes that get shipped are between 4 and 5 pounds. So 4 pounds on the label, 5 pounds on the label, it's gonna be fine. So let's get started. The first thing you're gonna need is a pair of shoes to sell. Now, once you have your shoes selected, it's time to list them on eBay. This is probably the biggest complaint I hear from people who sell shoes on StockX or GOAT, but I'm gonna show you how simple it is. If you're going for the maximum value of trying to sell your shoes with eBay's lower fees, it's gonna be a no-brainer. All right, so if you don't already have the eBay app, go ahead and download that. And once you have it installed, it's time to take pictures. Now, obviously I'm here under Studio Light and I don't even use those for my pictures, though I do make sure I show a lot of good angles so people know what they're buying. It also covers you from the buyer complaining about a flaw that they didn't notice. So the first thing that I like to do is get my shoes on top of the box, and I like to do what I call the hero shot. So this is gonna be the first picture shown on eBay that's gonna draw the potential buyer to your shoes. So I normally stack them up like this, kind of like an eye-catching angle. It's not a boring picture basically. And this will be the first picture. The second picture I always take of the box label. So always make sure I have the box label in there as well. That confirms that the shoes are the size that you have listed. Sometimes people make mistakes on the sizing. Next up, I'll just put them side by side like this, and I'll start with a picture of the front and then just turn them. Then we'll go to the lateral side of one shoe, switch it to the back, and finally the other lateral side. Now that's it for the top portion of the shoes. Now I like to take the shoe that's facing the camera, flip it in, and now I can grab a picture of the medial sides of both shoes in one. And finally, I will flip to the outsoles. So like this worn pair that's only been worn once or twice, or even DS pairs, they can confirm that they're not dirty or how dirty they are. Get a picture of the outsoles. Now here's a tip as well. If they are are used, I like to get a shot of the inside of the shoes so people know if they are dirty, how dirty they are. Now you have all your pictures taken, and this is the part that people complain about the most, is having to actually list the shoes, and it's not that big of a deal. So going into the app, just search for what shoe you have. So for me, this is a Jordan 5 Moonlight, and then go ahead and select the size. This one is a 10.5. Now you can filter in the top right, authenticity guarantee, condition. Most of the time it's gonna be new with box. This one's actually gonna be pre-owned. Now that we're here, all we're looking for is a comparable listing. So I'm just gonna go ahead and click this one here. It's the same shoe I have used in the same condition. I'm gonna scroll like halfway down, sell one like this, and it'll automatically pull up the listing details. Now I just go ahead and drop my pictures in. So here I have some extra pictures as well, just because they're used. Now for the title, you can keep it as is, or if you want to change it up a little bit, normally I put the size first, then the shoe. Now you have to put in the condition always, no matter what you do. You can start a listing from scratch, or you can sell one like this on someone else's items. You'll always have to put the condition of the shoe in, pre-owned, and while we're here, just double check that everything's right, especially the shoe size. Adjust anything to your liking, the category is already correct. Now, the description, if you have anything specifically wrong with your shoe, or if you want to tell the story of the shoe to make the buyer more confident. For this shoe, I got them off of Tradeblock in a trade, and the person said they were worn once. I think they're probably worn twice, so that's what I'm gonna put in my description. And then the pricing. You can choose to do an auction or buy it now. I prefer buy it now. Here is a major eBay tip. If you sell a pair through an auction, don't package the shoes until the person paid. Sometimes the people who win the auctions take days to pay. Sometimes they don't pay at all, and it's not worth your time to go ahead and go through this process that I'm explaining and get nothing out of it. So that's another reason why I like buy it now. The people have to pay right then, and then I get started. So I'm gonna list these for $150. Now I always do buyer pay shipping. You can increase the price and do free shipping, but for the simplicity of the video, we're gonna go ahead and leave it as is. And when we actually get into the shipping portion, the standard that I use is 4 pounds, 16 by 12 by 6. Obviously, if you have a different box, you can put in the dimensions there, but we'll get more into that later. I use USPS Priority Mail. You can add another service here, UPS Ground, FedEx. You can add multiple too, and the buyer can choose. I just prefer USPS. You can also promote your listing for a small fee. It may be a few dollars to boost your auction, or a small percentage to boost your buy it now sale. But if you're listing on eBay and you're trying to squeeze out every dollar you can get, just go ahead and skip that. Now we can go ahead and list your item. So now your shoe is listed, and now step 2, wait. If you enable offers on your listing, you're gonna wanna check up on the app every once in a while, make sure no one's offering anything. Maybe you wanna make a deal with somebody, and if you do that, or your item just sells for the price that you're asking, that'll bring us to step 3, shipping. All right, so you just sold your shoes, so you're gonna go ahead and hop back into the app, and you're gonna see this notification that your item has been paid for and to ship now. So go ahead and click on that, and that'll prompt you to create a label. So go ahead and hit get shipping label, and it'll bring up the screen basically confirming the information that was already put in. If you wanna make any last second adjustments, you can do it now. Like for example, I always like to just make sure my box dimensions are right, so I'll go ahead and change that to 12, and everything's looking good. So I'm gonna go ahead and purchase, and you're gonna get your shipping label, so go ahead and print that, and now we can begin packing. All right, so our shoes have sold. We've printed out our label. Now let's go ahead and get our box ready. Now, like I said in the intro, today I'll be reusing an eBay box, but I do have those U-line boxes as well that I did purchase. So I'm just gonna go ahead and secure the bottom here. So I do what I call the H pattern, I guess, of taping things. I don't know if that's what it's actually called, nor do I really care. Basically, once I run some tape along the middle, I just add some tape along the sides as well. I'm gonna go ahead and put these shoes back in the box the proper way. You don't necessarily need to do this. Obviously, they're just gonna get taken out by whoever works at eBay anyway, but it's a nice touch. Also, if your shoe has any additional laces, any accessories, shoe trees, make sure that they're all in there before you close up the box. All right, go ahead and drop your box in, and now it's time for bubble wrap. Now my main thing is the corners, so I'm just gonna make sure I have a little bit of overage on both sides. And the Jordan 5 boxes are one of the bigger shoe boxes that get shipped, so not really a great example, but there, 2 sheets of bubble wrap, fully covered. One thing I like to do, slide the box to the side, fold a piece of bubble wrap, and just secure one side with it. And because this is a Jordan 5 box and it's so big, don't really need packing paper in here, but I'll try and squeeze some in, just to really make sure that the shoebox is not gonna move around in there, and it's pretty secure. Go ahead and fold this up and tape the top. And I'm gonna go ahead and do the H method or whatever on the top as well. I suggest doing it, but there was a time where I just shipped with the tape on the top and the bottom covering the seams, so not necessarily required, just looking out for yourself basically. All right, and there we go. Our box is secured. The shoe box inside is secured. Everything that came with the shoes is inside the box. I'm gonna grab my suggested shipping label holder here. Obviously, if you don't have these, you're just gonna tape the label itself to the box. Flatten that down, and I'm gonna go ahead and slide my label in and secure it down. And it's very simply as easy as that. Now your box is packaged up and it's ready to get on its way to eBay for authentication. And that's it. Now you have your shoes packaged, ready to ship to eBay. Simply drop them off at the post office. Big tip, get a receipt. It's just good for documentation. So get that receipt, wait for the shoes to get authenticated, get paid out. Easy as that. If you guys have any questions about this process or anything in general, drop them down in the comments below. If you guys want tutorials on anything else, sneaker related, leave a comment down below. If this video helped you out at all, leave a like, consider subscribing. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.